First off, I didn't even know I was gonna watch this movie. I was tricked into it. I was under the impression I was gonna watch the new SpongeBob movie, the one with I Spy song with it. But no, I watched Rental Family. It was good. I wasn't in the best mood before watching the movie. Just beforehand, I was thrown insults by my beloved sister. Her insults cut me deep. But then I watched the movie and I felt a lot better. When I first learned of this service, I don't know how long ago it was, not too long ago, maybe like 2 years ago or something. It sounded bizarre. It sounded alien, weird to me. I was just like, this, I've never heard of this before. Why would people want this? And if you don't know why, the movie does a pretty good job at explaining it. I quote, this is from the movie, I quote, Japan is very segregated when it comes towards mental health issues. So, like therapists and seeking a therapist or something like that. So then they have this service, the rental family service comes into play. I didn't quote that properly, but that's about what they said. Okay, so that is why, and this isn't just fiction, like it is actually a prevalent service over in Japan where they take someone and they play a role in their lives, whether maybe they have like unresolved issues or something like that. They play a role in their lives. Okay, so now I'm gonna head into spoilers. So here it is, spoilers alert. You got it, that's your warning. We have a main character. His name is Philip, and he's, landing these small-time acting gigs. Trying to hustle, get through everyday life in Japan, make it to the next day. Oh, not Japan, but just in general. He just happens to be in Japan. And throughout the movie, they kind of drop hints of like, why is he in Japan, and why does he choose to stay in Japan? And this is my interpretation of it, but he got a really big acting gig that he had to move to Japan to get it, and it was this toothpaste ad. It was really, really big. But that was, I can't remember if they said it was 5 or 7 years ago, but since then he hasn't landed any other big roles, just these small minor roles. Then comes along this rental family service, which approached him, and they ask him to come in to be like a sad American. So he goes into this place, he finds what seems to be a funeral, he sits down, and all of it is really comical. All of it is really comical. He sits down, and by the end of the session, it becomes obvious this was all pretend. Like, this guy, who seems to be a client, is actually faking it, like playing a dead person in a funeral. And he does that because he wants to show that he meant something. They are creating the illusion that lots of people cared for him in life, and by the end of it, he's very satisfied with the service, and he says to everyone attending, thank you for attending. I feel like my life can move on from this. Like, people care about me, and that gives me hope. Philip, he is then approached by, I've forgotten his name. He's the whole head or the CEO or director of the rental family service company. And he approaches Philip to be the token white guy. At first, Philip declines it, but then, he gives the director, I'm going to call him the director. The director gives him the whole, you haven't really landed any successful gigs, and through my service, you could be changing people's lives, helping people. What really hits him is you haven't done any big roles since 5 or 7 years ago. So he reluctantly accepts the offer. And his first job, in his eyes, he believes it's major, is to play groom of a bride. His first job is to play the groom. And it nearly fails. This is because he's hiding out a toilet. Like, he's at the marriage ceremony, but he's hiding somewhere because he feels like he's doing something wrong, and also the pressure is really getting to him. He's doing something really big and grand, and he just can't go through with it. So one of the employees of the rental family service, Aiko, I think that's how you say her name. She aggressively pushes Philip to do it, to hide out, because they really need him, and you could tell she is really passionate about this. So yeah, he reluctantly goes through with it, and he completes the marriage ceremony. And then afterwards, they're waiting in a room, him and the bride. And the bride is the client. She's the one that hired them. Hey, can you sort this out for me? And then knock on the door. Someone comes in, and it's a girl. And then very quickly we recognize, oh, this girl is her lover. So then we get kind of the full picture of why she wanted this ceremony. She wanted to create a way for the bride and the bride's lover, a way for them to be free, be able to escape, because afterwards they're going to move to Canada, and I guess her parents, we can kind of fill in that blank with that one. Maybe the parents are super traditional, they only believe in man and woman marriage. Or maybe she's just too scared to tell her parents, oh, I'm marrying a woman. Or she's scared of coming out to her parents. She has gone through a lot of effort to make this whole thing work. And they really needed Philip to play the role of the husband in the marriage ceremony. From there on, Philip receives a lot of gratitude from the couple, and he feels good. You see him walking away with a smile and everything, and he decides to take on more roles, more jobs from the rental family service. From here on this point in the movie, it primarily focuses on two characters, a little girl, Mia, and an old man, Mr. Hasagawa. For the little girl, he is hired by the mother of the girl to play pretend father, like be the father that left them and come back into the life, so that they can, I guess they need a nuclear family to be able to enroll in a certain school. And for the old man, he is hired by the I believe it's granddaughter of Mr. Hasagawa, to pretend to be a journalist to write down his biography, as Mr. Hasagawa wants to be able to tell his story. As we proceed through the movie, you can see Philip and the two characters. They're two separate different characters in two separate lives. He's playing roles in them, and he becomes closer with those two characters. And it's to a point where where he plays an integral point in their lives, but also they really value his time in their lives as well. It's like a reflection of each other. At first, this is a job to him, but we see early in the movie when he's like on a balcony and he's looking out to his neighbors. He's just sitting down and he's watching the neighbors, go on about their lives. I guess treating it kind of like a reality show. He's just looking at the neighbors, not like in a creepy way, but sort of in an envious way, like he wants to be a part of that. At least that was my interpretation. From what I could tell, it's kind of like a visual telling of like, I guess not only how dull his life is, or how dull he believes his life is, but also how lonely he is. So yeah, this job is sort of a reflection, These people need him because they want him to be a part of their lives, but he also really wants to be a part of their lives. So it's much more than just like a job opportunity towards Philip. It's a chance for him to be a part of something that he considers truly special. And he sort of comes to like a understanding towards Aiko, or why she's so passionate about this job, because he really likes this job and understands why there's so much thought and effort put into it. And it basically comes down to being able to give joy into other people's lives. But it also, I think this is why Aiko does it as well, brings joy into their own lives. For Mia, he's the father she's never had. And she likes him for the person who he is and wishes that he was in her life more. And as for Mr. Hasagawa, he's like the friend that he really needs. He really enjoys spending time with him. And he also really likes that Philip also really cares for him as well. The stakes in this movie aren't in like world changing or groundbreaking or anything like that. It's rather simple stuff. but like I get why it could be considered as heavy. It basically, we have stakes are that for Mia, he is to play the role of the father, just suddenly coming back into her life to the point where, well, until she gets accepted into this school. And then he has to, make up an excuse and say, oh, I have to go away now. And, we see that and we see that towards the end of the movie, that it's truly heartbreaking for her. And it's heartbreaking for Philip as well, that he has to say goodbye. And the other stakes is for Mr. Hasegawa, we get hints of it. He's sort of having like dementia and stuff, and he's gonna forget everything. And he wants to visit his hometown, but the client, granddaughter, sorry, to not indulge in his wishes, as she wants him to be safe and sound, like be at home, or like be near home, not far away, because it turns out his hometown is really far away. The other characters, we focus on is Aiko, the employee. There was another employee, I don't know the dude's name. He didn't really do anything, he just kind of existed, but we do focus a bit of time on Aiko and why she has such a fiery passion towards this job. And we see that through a sequence of montages. Like, she loves bringing joy into these people's lives. This is less than a job and more of like a true calling. She loves it. But like, we learn that she does particularly hate a certain aspect of the job, which is the apology services. Which is basically she's hired to play the role of like a cheating mistress and has to apologize to a client's wife or husband that they've been cheating on them, and that it was all her fault, that she came on to whoever it was. We also have like the director of the rental family. We do know that he has a passion for this job. He really likes this job, but apart from that, we don't really explore a lot about him. And to be honest, he had a lot of interest as well for me. I kind of want a little bit more because towards the end of the film, we learned that his family is actually a rental family, and that surprised me, and I kind of want to learn why. I mean, you could probably make up your own reasons. I guess I'll just make one quick. It's because he's miserable and requires the service as well. We can't be 100% sure. It isn't told to us. It's just revealed that he actually uses his own service that he provides. So yeah, the fake family thing, it surprised me on that. And we only just touch into it. The movie itself it's a feel-good movie. You feel good watching it. You feel satisfied by the end of it. And honestly, I kind of needed it because I think it was a month ago. I watched the Chainsaw Man Resurrect movie. I watched it like twice, one in IMAX and the other in 4DX. Okay, that doesn't matter. I've watched it twice and I love the movie, but that ending man, I did not feel good about it. Not because it was bad, but because it made me mad. Is the movie outstanding? No. But is it good? Yeah, it's good. I would say the movie kind of plays it pretty safe, like nothing terrible happens. And it never really feels like anyone's, in danger, whether that be the mental or physical kind. Even when he was put under arrest, I didn't really feel like he's gonna be fine. And he was fine. Like, he'll find a way out, whether that be through the power of friendship, which does come through. But with the lack of, intensity, it makes up for it in characters. The characters are the real highlights. That being Philip, Mia, and Hasegawa. Kind of. Again, I wish we could explore those characters a bit more. But as I understand, the movie's focus was primarily on Philip, Mia, and Hasegawa. But yeah, I like this movie. I thought it was good. Would I watch it again? Maybe not for a while. But I really like the character. And it's cool, seeing Brendan Fraser on the screen again. He's awesome. I remember watching him in Mummy. And he was also in The Whale. And that made me feel a lot. I like Brendan Fraser. He's pretty cool. And I like the other characters as well. But yeah, this movie was pretty good. I liked it. I've said that like 3 times now. I'm gonna leave it at that. I guess I should give it a rating. I guess like a 7.5 out of 10. Thanks for watching. Have a good one.